What's up, everybody? Back another live video here for you guys. We're doing it. We're taking trade days evaluation. 50K. Can we do it? Well, let's get through the boring part first. Disclaimer, this content presented in this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. The views and opinions expressed are solely those of the creator and should not be construed as financial advice. The creator does not sell any products or services nor is affiliated with any of the trading platforms or tools mentioned. Trading involves risk and is not suitable for all investors. It is important to conduct your own research and consult with a professional before making any investment decisions. The creator assumes no responsibility for any losses or damages arising from the use of this content. Had to do that quickly, guys, because you know how it is. So, we've got the challenge underway, day one. We're about to start trading. And just like in our preparation, in this actual evaluation now, no longer a demonstration. This time we're going to be following rules as well. And I have a slightly different rules from the preparation. So basically, rule number one, follow trade days rules. If I don't follow trade days rules, I lose, no matter what my balance is. So rule number one is to follow every single rule from trade day. Rule number two, take a maximum of 10 trades per day. I thought that was a good rule going in the preparation. I think it allowed me to quit, which is something I don't do often, is quit at the right time. So this limits the amounts of trades I can take per day, and we're gonna keep it at 10. Number three, maximum 350 drawdown per day. That's per day. So although this amount, if I lose every single day in a row, $350, it take about 5 days, 6 days to lose the whole thing because of my, drawdown. But, we're going to try to keep this number lower, of course. We don't want to lose 350 per day. So if we see a loss of like 100 and we're not feeling it, we're going to quit at $100 loss. Doesn't mean that I have to hit this number or close to it. It just means that's the maximum. Rule number four. So we're going to, of course, this time is the real evaluation. So we need to pay attention to the max trailing drawdown. So each day that we trade, we're going to account for this and see where we are. If you don't know what a trailing drawdown is, on my first video on the preparation, I explained the drawdown. But basically, we cannot, well, as we make profits, our drawdown goes up along with it and never goes down again. So the gap between my balance and the drawdown can only get smaller and not bigger. So rule number five, journal every day or every trade. Number six, trade from 9:30 to 2 p.m. That's my schedule. I cannot trade after 2 or before 9:30. Rule number seven, keep track of stop loss movements on each trade. So if I take a kind of a break even, for example, like if I track my stop loss to a break even and I get taken out on the break even, I'm going to take a note on that specific trade to see how many times I lose a trade based on the stop loss movement. Number eight, when hurrying or anxious, take a few breaths. I mean, these two for me are indications that I'm going to do emotional things and not follow my rules. If I need to hurry to make a trade or I feel anxious, I'm going to step back. So pay attention to at least one longer time frame before trading mode. So before I take a trade and actually execute the buttons, I'm going to take a look at the longer time frame, at least one of them, to give me some confirmation on what I'm thinking of doing. And then number 10, if confident, be bold. Okay, so I've noticed that my performance has a lot to do with how I am doing that day, how I'm feeling, how much I've slept, what's been going on in my day-to-day life. And because sometimes I'm kind of confident and I don't take trades, and I miss out, right? FOMO, fear of missing out. But this is kind of the opposite. This is the opposite of confident, right? We want to be bold if we're feeling confident. That may seem to us like FOMO, but it's really not. Sometimes we're confident because we are confident, because we are seeing something, we're on the right track. So if that's the case, we're going to take trades, but we're not going to deal with FOMO. So if we think, oh, if I don't take this trade, I got to rush, again, hurrying or anxious, then that's not confident. It's kind of the opposite. Our strategy is non-existent at the moment. We don't have a specific strategy. There are things that we're going to try to do in this evaluation, which are taking note of the highs and the lows and taking into account the, going to the 50% of the unmitigated area, which will, it'll all make sense once we get going. What I mean by that, by all that. But there is some kind of way that we're trading. It's just that we're not experienced enough to call that a strategy yet. So we're still searching for a strategy that makes us profitable. Here are TradeDay's rules. You can only trade in permitted times. You have a maximum drawdown, which trails, and you can only trade permitted products. The past times that I've taken the evaluation, I've never failed the rule. And what's happened to me, the reason I lose is because I don't hit my profit target. But all these rules, I pretty much followed every single one, except, I haven't actually made the money. I've lost, well, of course, I hit the maximum drawdown. So yeah, I mean, I've broken this rule. I've broken this rule, which means also, well, that necessarily has to mean that, but I didn't hit my profit target, which is $2,500. In any case, we should get ready to get going. These are the tier 1 events. So today's March 11th. There's nothing here, so we are good to go. We don't have to worry about any news events or anything like that. Tomorrow, that's a different story, but this is well before our trading times, so it doesn't really matter to us. And this times are in Central Time, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so Central Times, Central Standard. So that's the same time for us. And like, for example, here is the same thing. So we got to watch out for all of these every time we trade, the permitted times. And without further ado, let's get going. We're trading the NASDAQ again. We've moved contracts to the June. I'm not really sure if that was a good decision, to be honest, because what happened to the music? Anyways, yeah, I'm not sure if I should have switched from the March contracts. I mean, we are in March. I believe they haven't expired yet. I actually, that we should probably take a look at that. When does the NQ futures contract NQH4 expire? Oh my God, we're going to get into it, guys. I mean, that's the thing we have to do. Make sure we know what we're doing. But see, the global code now is NQM4, which is the June contract, and it has just been updated. So I guess it expired like there we go. So the March contract, the settlement is on 15th of March. So it's not yet, but it's really close. And I guess everybody, it has moved on to the June contract. And so we probably is best for us to stay with, to switch to the NQM2 4 versus the H4 because of liquidity, I guess, and volume. Volume, you're gonna have a lot more volume on the newer contract. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be taking a look at the 1-minute chart and also be drawing on the 5-minute, 10 minutes. We'll see. So what has happened? It's pretty much on consolidation right now after this big drop. It's Monday, so we didn't trade all weekend, of course. Took the weekend off. So if today is 11th, the 8th is Friday. So this was Friday. I remember this day clearly. We actually didn't do badly. We make a bit of profit. We didn't do great either, but we did make a bit of profit for the day on Friday. But I remember losing some of the trades by trying to take this kind of lifts, I guess, or actually, if I remember correctly, I was trying to go down with it, but kept getting, losing as price went up. That was the last day I traded. Today, Monday, it's been consolidation for the most part. If we look at the market open today, here we go. So this is where the market opened and pretty low volatility. The thing is, it is spring break in America. So am I looking at this right? This is the 1-minute Nasdaq. So on 9:30 a.m. it went up and it made a high, broke the structure here. Yeah, that was an important structure because this low became validated when price broke here. Did it break? Wow, I'm not really sure if it broke or not. It looks like it might have broke, but in any case, this became a bit more validated, but it turned out that price actually traded below it. And then that low that it put became the actual bottom, and it has not been, that's actually the probably the area we want to pay attention to, because it hasn't been mitigated, this whole area again. Price left here and then went down, consolidating. So what we might expect, well, I guess it's too soon to do that, to even make assumptions here. I'm gonna take out the wick on here. So that's our primary range. On this here, I kind of like how there's no really big wicks on the, I guess we could call it manipulation area here. The wick is not that big for the 1-minute chart. That's early 9:30. Yeah, so actually the market open is not here. Sorry guys. The market open, it's over here. Yeah, and we had a big push up at the open, but not, wait, actually, okay, so I'm right on the market open, so right there. So yeah, it dropped. It dropped on the open, made a low, which broke, wow, really, you know, far away structure. Wow, over here, all the way over here. Can't even get the right action because probably because of the contract. We have a lot of gaps. Also, it's 2 a.m. or whatever, but you know, this contract is newer, so there might not be as much liquid volume on the prior dates. So that's the structure that, well, some of the structures that were broken were here, especially here. And of course, it has traded lower, but this is, oh, March 5th. So not that long ago, actually. Thought it would be a lot more long ago. So there's definitely room to go down more, especially with, you know, the big highs that price has been making this past few weeks or past week. We could expect price to dip as a lot of people are expecting before making new highs. But I mean, it's kind of crazy how you look at the market and you see a lot of action in, for example, you know, I don't want to say it, but look at Bitcoin, right? Look at Bitcoin and it just keeps going up. I mean, it does drop actually. It does drop from the highs, of course, as it always been volatile. But it's strange to me how Bitcoin is making new highs and to see the Nasdaq, you know, struggle more, get a lot more dips. Let's look at the 5-minute chart. Yeah, right here actually. Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about here. But that might just be normal or not that much amount since we are still very bullish. Again, this has been the June contract. I'm guessing that there's a lot less volatility even though the price does reflect the Nasdaq 100 C-mini. So on the 5-minute, we're coming from a high. Let's say, yeah, here, I like this one. It's kind of far away and definitely an important high because there's some lows here that broke structure on the left side, definitely here. This one, yeah, these both got broken with this move here. So we're definitely going to pay attention to this high here. Well, this low of this bullish candle. You see how price shot off from here and then never really traded any higher. That's the highest low, I guess. Definitely the actual low got broken here, but not the high here. So if we are going to take a high that we really like for the range, then we're gonna go with this one, which was never broken. That's the last high before the breaks of all that structure to the left. I kind of like this area too. So we're going to just put a somewhat of a range there to see what happens if price gets there. Let's see where price is actually. Let's see. Where's, oh, price levels. So that's where price is. We're pretty far off. Below that right now. Of course, you know, all this area, of course, can be possible for us to go up, especially with, like I said, BTC going up. I don't know if it makes sense to you guys that it's all kind of related, and when something goes up, it kind of makes sense that other things could go up in the similar fashion. I mean, we never know for sure, but I'm paying attention, and I'm definitely not gonna be surprised if crazy things happen. That's the main thing. All right, so we got the what else? Got the top kind of figured out. Now let's from the from the top down, we're going to mark different areas. There's a fractal here, of course, after that big drop that gave us this low here. So we're gonna pay attention to that one. Yeah, from the fractal to the bottom there. And as you can see there, its wall kind of created a buffer zone, like some kind of wall between the highs and the lows. This definitely is the last low that broke the high. Sorry, that broke the low. This is the last low that broke this low. So the types of moves that we're trying to make here, well, actually, let's finish this first. Now we got, of course, the bottom here, which aligns to what to the left, like let's say here. Let's just go with, oh man. I thought I had saved as default, but I guess I didn't. There we go. So here, yeah, we're including the wick. So definitely that low has been broken. So this would be our kind of our, demand zone. I mean, sorry, so demand zone, I guess. Yeah, demand zone. Yeah, I was gonna say your supply zone, but no. This could be our demand zone where price gets a rejection. Here, the structure's a little bigger. I mean, I haven't really messed with the size of it, but let's say we go for a more conservative kind of move here. And what I like about here, like, this is the kind of moves that we're looking for. So we have the low, right? We have a low, then price broke structure here, broke the high. And then what we can expect is for price to reach back into this area here, about 50% of this range, which is pretty much this high and this low. Price then left this area unmitigated when it took off. It went back into the area. This is not the type of entry we're going to be looking for because it's not mitigating this area either. However, this happens a lot where price hangs up above, we're talking about a kind of a bullish action here. But when you have a bullish action and you have this area that price went up from, left unmitigated here, and it came back to mitigate this area, but it didn't come back and do the same for this area here, which is also an imbalance left, especially here, this whole area. Now we're looking for, let's say that we're looking to pay attention to this high and this low here. So before the break, before the low break here, and especially a high. So there was a low, a high, low, break to the upside, break to the downside. So there were two breaks there because of this high here. So if we take into account this high here, which is the last high before this big drop, leaving a lot of, PD arrays or imbalances here, going down, and now left a low that we're going to be paying attention to here, right? And then, so this is our range from here to here. Price did trade lower, but then broke the structure. And then as price, went up again, even above, breaking the high here, it tapped back into about 50% of this and this. Now, you could argue that we should pay attention to not that, but maybe this and this. And 50% would be about here. But in either case, you get that tap, and this is the kind of moves that we are interested in. Whether it's, this one is going to be really hard to get. But this might be easier because it's finally coming down to this lower, not imbalance, but unmitigated area left behind. Because as price was coming down to mitigate this area, it didn't. It went higher. It didn't break this high here. It stayed above the actual, I would say this is probably a more important high here. Price didn't break that. It traded to the area that I'm talking about. Now, for example, let's say we were thinking here. Now, here would be an interesting one, actually very interesting, because price didn't really, well, it broke some structures to the left for sure. It broke all these structures up until, oh wow, look at that candle here. Wow. So it broke this high here. Yeah, this high there. That's the one it broke. So once it did that, it again retraced. Now here's the problem with this specific price movement, is that price actually went lower than this. We could expect that, but once we saw this big manipulation, it was definitely, especially once it broke here, maybe this is our entry. Maybe this is our entry. It's tough to say actually on this type of action, but this is what we're looking for. This is what we're going to pay attention to, this type of action. Now we are there, but of course we are now over here where there's a lot of consolidation at the moment. So maybe it's a good chance to get in quick scalps, at the bottom of this range or at the top. Looking at the 10-minute chart, well, on the 10-minute chart, it kind of looks a little more bullish than the 5-minute. We have this high put in, broke all these structures to the left. This is an important place too, because we got a big resistance there, brought price down maybe about 50% between this swing point here, but maybe what we're looking for here is this type of action, this high and this low. Okay, yeah, so that low and I'm trying to think. High, no, here. Well, when did it break that? It broke here. So let's say here where it broke this high. So this is the low and this is the high. And 50% of the area is here. So we're kind of at that area that we would expect price to come up. It's mitigating this imbalance level, or actually again, this S&D zone, unmitigated S&D zone. When price left, it left this area. It's been mitigating it for a while. Now this low and this high, price went down to about 50% of that big swing point. But again, that's not the type of trade that we would get in, because we're not looking for this movement up. Rather, we're moving from here, from this area, which is where we are. However, we would like a nice entry down here, especially with this moving like this. I mean, it could keep going like that for a while. But what I'm reading from this chart here is a drop here, maybe around here, and then a push up. And maybe we can get in on that. So we're gonna really start to pay attention to the 1 minute chart and look for an entry. What's going on with the music again? Jeez. Okay. Okay. So this is the area. That's the low area, but we might not hit that again, actually, if we're going to trade higher. That's kind of the area that we're gonna be leaving unmitigated. Maybe, right? I mean, this push hasn't given us a new high, so we're actually kind of early on this trade, which I like. You know, I like that we're not late for it. However, this swing point might give us that 50% area here to shoot up from. To make sure that, yeah, okay. Yeah, we might be in a really good spot to trade up from, actually. But and even though this type of trades can yield really nice returns, we're not gonna get greedy. We're going to take, you know, 10 points, 5 points, something like that. I like this price action. Let's see what low we broke. What? Yeah, what? Okay, so let's take this high here as the low that was broken. Let's see if we can get a reaction from there. Yeah, I kind of like where we are for a long. Now we had the high put in here, which has not broken. Well, actually it did here. Well, what I was gonna say is this high hasn't broken this highs here. So we're in a good spot here to trade up. Even here, with our stop loss would have to be below this line, and that's too many points for us. But yeah, it's about 20 points, more than 20 points there of stop loss. So that's a lot of risk. And also that we did break this low, so we might trade lower. Hopefully we do, and we can get an entry around here where we can justify a big stop loss here. But even a stop loss here would be even better. So if price can get to this point, we place an entry with our stop loss here. Now, of course, if price does trade lower, that would be the end for us for that trade. We would lose it. But this being the low and it being even lower, I mean higher than this low here, everything is giving us indications of a bullish action. This low is higher than this lows. These lows here were broken, but price did trend up after that, and it hasn't been broken yet. So this low is very interesting, especially this one, I think, just where price kind of mitigated these lows, this area. And so maybe the area that hasn't been mitigated is where we are now. And on the 20-second chart, let's see if we can see more indications of a bullish trend. Yeah, I mean, look at that. This is gonna break these highs here and trend up. You see that? So this is it. I mean, we are where we wanna be for our trade. It's just looking for a good entry to the upside. Yeah, well, definitely a bullish signal there. But we have to be patient because price might come mitigate a bit here before leaving again. So we might get a nicer entry. This is the imbalance that has pushed price down. So we're going to be paying attention to this. But definitely, to me, it seems like price wants to get back over here. This area, of course, being unmitigated by the drop of this candle. So this is it. This is our entry here. Because it's 50% of, basically this swing point here. It's about here. I'm gonna play it cool, but I think we're going up. Good, good. I like the better entry, the better. The less risk. We're still confident. I'm still confident about going up on this trade. So that's a 10-point stop loss. I kind of messed up on that. That shouldn't have been the case. But so what we're gonna do is we're gonna trail this order a bit. Actually, we're gonna go break even. This is not where we're supposed to be. Yeah, so we broke even because that's not the type of order I wanted to put. I wanted to put a 5-point 1-to-1 order, or even maybe a 7, especially with the price moving kind of fast like it did. So I don't know how that happened. Fortunately, we don't have, oh, because we were in the 20-second, we didn't change. It was the 1 minute that had the 5 points, not the 20-second. So that's the thing, is we're not experienced yet, and we keep making mistakes that are simple to not make. We shouldn't be making this type of mistakes, but that's part of being a rookie. You're gonna make all kinds of mistakes, which was actually a good thing because my order wouldn't have gone my way. I don't think we hit 5 points here. Let's see. 18204. Well, but that's the actual, yeah, that was the buy at 18203, 209. Well, yeah, we would have gotten it. We would have gotten that trade if we had gone for 5 points. So, but we're looking for a next entry here. I like how that moved up. I mean, unfortunately, it kind of went a little bit too quick for my entry, but we're still on the trade. Gonna break even if it doesn't go my way, because I'm taking no losses on this evaluation. Oh, it's because I put 7 points, yeah. So again, I mean, we should have gone for 5 points. We would have gotten it a little bit late on the entry. I tried to, kind of get down here, but it moved quickly as you saw. And of course, the trade would have gone our way because we are kind of in a good spot to long from. No longer, actually. I mean, we would have to break this high here, but we're still on the indication that price wants to trade higher, especially after breaking these highs. On the 1 minute chart, again, this PD array does look like it has some pull because there's a big gap between this candle here and this candle, so it's a big imbalance. And price, this was our entry. This is the type of entry we're looking for. This would be ideal. And we were there, we were watching it. We did take a trade here. We could have waited and still make a lot of profit, but I'm not upset because I am looking at this stuff, and it'll just take some time for us to get used to being on these areas and taking trades from there. Unfortunately, price has left me now, or left without me. And who knows, he might actually try to break this high here. Definitely the fact that it broke some lows here could mean that we're trading higher from here. So this becomes an important low now, especially breaking all this to the left. We do have this, of course, on the 20-second, it's just everything's bigger. But if we go to the 1 minute, that's this area here. Yeah, because that's the lowest. Well, we have this area over here. So if we make our range smaller now, we have this. We haven't really breaking the high, so we cannot call this a protected low yet. Price might come down more. But the way I look at it, the fact that we ran both these highs, to me seems more like a bullish movement, especially after breaking this high, very important one there, with a huge wick, of course. So manipulation area. 50% of the area if you count this high and this low. If we go here, this would be about 50% where we are right now, and actually going up from. So yeah, I mean, that's what is expected when you're not really experienced enough, is you expect to get in on good trades and not make profit, you know, or missing out. But I like this, you know, I like the fact that I could foresee this move up. Now we could do the same going down, but just the way the market is today, I have a bullish feeling, especially with Bitcoin going up like crazy. So there might be a wall here. Maybe price comes down back to this 50% area here and then go further up. That could be one thing that we should be looking for. Yeah, this low seems pretty well protected. Again, it's the same low that we saw here that we talked about earlier that traded higher than these two lows. On the 1 minute, it seems a little more clear. It's these two lows here. We talked about how price didn't trade lower than that, which gave us bullish indications. But price hasn't broken, you know, well, also this one too. Yeah, this one. This high, this low here, trading higher than this, or this low here trading higher than this low. Price did break this low here, but again gave us bullish indications, and we haven't gone back to this area yet. So that might be what's coming before breaking this high. However, the way it looks to me at the moment, we might trade higher before lower. So maybe here before here, if we're kind of still on a consolidation type movement, but if we are going to expand eventually, I mean, who knows which way it might go, I would probably assume bullish, again, because of what other markets are doing. So there's a lot of money right now flowing in, right? All these market caps getting bigger. So the fact that this low was broken, though, we're gonna have to wait. This is somewhat of a bit of a protected low because this high ran this high. It didn't break though. The candle didn't close above that. So there's another case of manipulation here. But still, I kind of like this low a little more than that low. Not to say that we're not gonna run it, because again, definitely this is the bigger important low. This one being, of course, the one that's really protected, because here we have a full run and break of this high here. So this low here is definitely well more protected than this and this and this. So we might trade lower. But again, I'm thinking, and this is it again. This is the type of trade we're looking for. This move up here, going from 50% of this point from here to here. Why those two? Because this is the high that was responsible for breaking structure to the left here with this red candle. And why this low? Well, because well, that's why the high there, and the low, of course, being the last low put in. And now that we're here, we could expect a retracement a little bit, and maybe even another chance to get in on a bullish. But you know, maybe we don't get a chance and we just trade higher. So this is what we should be looking for. Of course, I'm talking while I'm doing this, so very tough. But so let me put some music on, guys. Here we go. It is on, but it's just kind of like the volume differs from every song, I guess. But So here we have a run and break of the high there. So let's see if we get a rejection from there. It seems like we're in the right opportunities. However, we're not able yet to get in with it. Now, of course, if you were thinking bearish, which we could be, I mean, this is consolidation, so there's really no indication of either expansion to the left or to the top or to the bottom. But you could also argue that there could be a move to be made. Price maybe comes back to mitigate this area before finally breaking the lows to the left, because this would be the unmitigated area to the bullish trend. Well, about 50% of this high and basically this low here. This low being the lowest low before the break eventually came here. So if we take that, let's say here, that's the low and this is the high. Then about 50% of that is here, so we could get a retracement from this area here, which is kind of happening right now. I mean, it's not 50%, so we wouldn't get on that kind of trade here. We want at least 50% or more of our designated, you know, support and resistance lines. But you know, price could do whatever it wants, might leave from here down. Right now it's giving a little bit of a bullish indication by running this low, but not yet to be, you know, nothing to be concerned about or anything, but just this is the place where it might leave. I don't think so. I actually think we're gonna get close to running the highs here, but we're a little bit late. The best entry would have been here, even here when we saw this happen. But of course, once we saw this happen, we are not sure. So basically our only entry is around this area here, 50% of that area that I previously had outlined. So yeah, that could have been, yeah, I mean, now we're getting bullish, definitely bullish action from this area. Could be small, but yeah. So again, guys, this is an evaluation from TradeDay 50K. I just started today. This is day one, 20 bucks in profit. Hey, we're $20 in profit. That's awesome. I'm not losing. Now that could change in one trade. You know, the NASDAQ, it's very unpredictable, very hard to trade. So, but I like how we're getting closer to our profit target. 2,500, by the way, that's how much you gotta make. You can take as much as you like, or as much as you can trade, as you need. Okay, so that was, yeah, that's not the type of movement that we want to look at. Like, I don't want to get in here on a long. I do think it's going long. I do think it's going closer to that 50 area. But maybe if he hits this area here, this 50%, maybe, I mean, we could take a look and see if we can drop, you know, look for a scalp down. We would have to watch the 20-second chart and see if we can see signs of a reversal. The trend is bullish currently. Of course, we're in the top of this whole manipulation zone. Not manipulation, sorry, consolidation area. All of this consolidation area. So yeah, still bullish. I predict something somewhere around here. Now that doesn't mean we're not gonna break the high. So if we do break them, of course the next one would be over here, and that would be if it does break, if price does break here, and then maybe possibly here, let's say all the way back over up here, then we would look for the PD array left to the left or left behind on the left side and see if we can, as we trade down, look for a scalp up within a 50% of some area that we designate. So if price does go down, if it does break these highs, that's more confirmation of a bullish price action, because these highs actually were higher than these ones, which were very protected. I mean, they broke this low. So this low here, or high, this high here, it's important to us. If price does get up here higher than these candles, then price goes down, and we're looking for a 50% of some kind of area that we can go up from, since we are getting bullish indicators. So that's what we'll look at if price does go higher than these highs. If not, if price trades lower and breaks these lows, then we might consider changing our bias and try to short. Now, again, like I mentioned earlier, I mean, now we're at that 50% area of these two, areas here, and we are getting a short reaction. But we're going to have to look at the shorter time frame to see if that's the case. I mean, it does look like that's the case. So we might take a short order from here. We would have to get a really good entry though, because it looks like the trend wants to go up still. So everything I said still applies. Very interesting that on a 20-second chart we get a freaking doji. Oh, look at all those dojis making new highs. This one didn't, but it did make a new low and it broke structure here to the left. So dojis have been creating moves, I guess. Look at this one. Crazy. Break, break. Now this one, what does that tell you? More break. I mean, this and this look similar, right? Especially when we had the break of this low here, giving bullish indications. Doji, boom, breaking of the highs. So right now we're trading lower than this low here. Bearish indications, boom, higher. That's what I'm seeing. But maybe doji, oh, boom, while everybody starts to get in. So anything could happen. You see, now we broke the doji. We'll see if yeah, that's a full break. So now we got a little bit of more bearish indication here. Now, if this is a reversal, we might get another pull up before trading lower, but it just all depends how many lows it breaks here. This fractal too might give us something. The push up from here, maybe. This is about 50% of this low and this high here. So this could be a good scalp up. It is getting back to that 50% of, oh, there's a, of, what the, there we go, of this and this. That range, we're about to hit that 50% area around here. Yeah, here. So I'm still bullish. It's just kind of, you see, look at that. Yeah, this could be it right here. That was it right there. Looking for 5-7 points, I'm gonna go for 5 points, because that's why I didn't get my order last time. Also because I'm a beginner at this, of course. That has to do with it too. Yeah, I kind of like the long from here. I do like longing from here, but I'm not gonna rush. Because this could go down again. That is the very, very current, like, you know, very current trade that's going on. It's downwards, but this is a low that might not get broken again before going higher. I kind of, yeah, I went for a trade. I kind of like how that moved up. So I think that's going higher now. Not a good entry. I mean, I could have gone a little lower. Definitely here would have been better. And we're gonna break even if it doesn't go our way. That, you know, doing the preparation, you realize how much losses are costly. You know, it's okay not to make no money, but losing, it's you know, it's backwards. But we did get all the 5 points on this trade, $100. Okay, we're in a profit now. Best trade so far, but I kind of didn't like my entry too much. I thought it was a bit high here. There was a big, kind of a little spike before it went up. And look at that, look how much more my order went my way. And again, it's because you're paying attention to these zones, you know, being that 50% zone that I mentioned. And, you know, it was from here to here, we were mitigating this 50% of those 2 points. And that caused price to go higher, especially with the breaks of the to the left, you know, going up. We were getting bearish indications here, and you see how that doji played us? You see that? Like doji here, right? And up. Doji here, never mind. Back to this unmitigated area, and then shoots up. Now we can, I mean, I'm gonna expect a run of the high, but it looks like consolidation again. I mean, price is it's not gonna move on what we think. It's just gonna move the way it wants to move. On the 5-minute chart, yeah, you see the consolidation. I mean, it's actually narrowing. If I put the indicator here, there's one that I kind of like how it shows the narrowing of, I guess it's a channel. It's not the, yeah, Bollinger Bands. Yeah, I think that's the one that shows us. Yeah, so the expansion and the contraction, or yeah, so basically there's a big gap between these 2 points, and that is narrowing. So what we can expect is another, you know, widening of the price range. Well, that's what you expect when it narrows. You expect the reverse to happen, just like it did here when it started to going wide, then it narrowed again. I mean, who knows how much it's gonna go wider. But same thing here, a little bit wide, then narrow, then a little wider, then narrow, a little wider, narrowing substantially here. But yeah, it's just basically always, you know, going narrow to more widening. So and now it looks like very small price range, at least for the foreseeable few minutes or whatever. On the 3-minute chart, it kind of sounds like Eminem, that song. I mean, definitely not Eminem, but okay. In the 3-minute, we have this range, and if we're believing to be bullish, then, you know, again, we probably left. We're leaving from here to break the highs. So I still like this point to leave up from, especially being about 50% of this low and this high, run of the high. We haven't broken the high yet. We haven't broken this one. And even this one on the 3-minute chart, let's see. Oh shoot, I kind of lost myself there by scrolling, but let's see here. So this high was not broken here, it was just ran. So the candles here didn't break above this point. Push lower to break the low. So I mean, another argument could be that we are now, you know, turning a little bearish. But again, it's such a small range that, you know, we cannot make assumptions. All right, clean M&M. Copycat M&M. Yeah, man. Trading. Oh, that sounds kind of lame. Let's see if there's more songs. It's a little too hyped up. There we go. Some more chill. I don't know any of the songs. These are just YouTube's copyright-free music. I wish I could put some real music, you know what I'm saying? But if one day we get monetized, then it'll matter. Right now it doesn't matter, but one day it might. Yeah, I mean, we have these lows that haven't been ran, so we're still bullish. Yeah, I'm gonna go with bullish still. Maybe we get another tap into this area. If we run this low, we definitely are not going to be thinking of taking a trade. But if we get close to this area here and we see potential for reversal on the lower time frames, we might scalp up again. Phone call. All right, guys, I gotta take this phone call. I'll be back in like 2 minutes, all right? Well, actually like 5. So don't go anywhere, guys. We're gonna keep doing this. We're in it for the long run, okay? The heck? Sometimes we gotta take breaks because we're gonna be here for a while. So nothing personal. But you got the charts. I'll leave you with some music. Maybe a little higher even. Be right back. Okay, we're back, guys. Man, what happened to the music? Well, it's starting. Okay, we're back. Why won't it let me? So, yeah, we're pushing up. Pushing up. That would have been another entry that could have yielded good returns, but we're not concerned. We're being very conservative with our trading. I did mention the rules that I'm following, both my rules and TradeDay's rules. So now we can definitely make this our zone on the 10-minute just for now. I mean, I know that there's a low that it's, you know, stronger here, but just the fact that we're thinking bullish and it's ranging, a lot of consolidation, so not the best place to find a lot of opportunities, although we have found a few. I mean, right now we are in 50% of this small range here, so it could be another scalp up. But this high here was broken, so yeah, I mean, it's still bullish for the time being. Looking at the 20-second, let's see if we run this high here. We could go back to this imbalance left here, about 50%, and then shoot up. You see that? That wick, you see that? Well, we are getting kind of a strong reaction from this, you know, a little bit of a demand zone. It coincides with, let's see on the left side, if we take, let's say this high, and well, this low, we broke this low here. That might be our range right now. We did get a reaction here. I was looking at the left without looking at the right, but it does coincide with this low. This is a 20-second, so could be quick. Could be a good quick scalp opportunity coming up. You see again that 50% of this imbalance left is giving us push up, but also this is giving us a push down. So we're trading in this little range here. Probably gonna go higher. So yeah, that 50% of these two areas was a good opportunity to go up. But we are nearing that high here, so we are not going to rush going up because we're at the top of the range. But yeah, very a lot of bullish indications. This is the the high here that has been, well, that right now actually it's giving us some resistance. On the 1 minute, we're nearing the high there. Now the 50% is about here. A lot of movement here in this area. Okay, so we got past it. So yeah, we're more than 50% of this high and low. But of course, if we take this low or this high into account, then we're barely tapping into the 50%. Okay, around the low. This could be a good scalp up. Let's see what it looks like over here. That's a run of the high. Let's see what happens here. Price does seem to want to trade lower. It just could be a bit of manipulation going. Although this could be the manipulation, but doesn't look like it. Looks still bullish. Okay, so we took a trade, 5 points. What I like about this trade is that our stop loss, well, never mind. Our stop loss was below this low. So the whole range still being more our important area, maybe even all the way down to this low. So a little bit too hurrying for that trade. I mean, I just thought it would be a good entry because of how it's been moving recently. Of course, it didn't listen to us. So now we're not going to rush. Back to square one. Yeah, and that's the thing about these points. They're very likely to give us a reversal, breaking all these lows here. Look at that huge candle with a big wick. This right here could be our point of interest, 50% between that and here, more than 50% if we don't take the wicks, maybe 50% is around, well, let's see, around here, that's 50%. So we're past that point. This could be the continuation of the downward trend that's actually more like stronger than the bullish on the 5 minute, let's say. Right, I mean, we're bearish. We're bearish on the overall trend. So this reversal might still get more mitigation before expanding, or keep the continuation of the trend downwards. So this big candle on the 1 minute got broken or ran. Let's see if we close above it. I think we will, but then we have this, of course, that could push price even further down. This is kind of a fractal. The imbalance goes from here to very small imbalance actually. So, but that could be, this could be where we go lower, maybe here. Kind of changing our bias a little bit. We were thinking very bullish, but now the breaks of these lows and not running the highs here, and especially not even close to, you know, this over here, this might be where we trade lower from. So if we were to take a short, we would take it from around here to break even more lows. On the 22nd chart, we got this low put in, which might get a reaction going up. Yeah, tough to say what where we are exactly. It seemed a lot clearer earlier where there was a bit more of a continuation of the bullish, small bullish trend here. Now we're just kind of consolidating. Equal highs. We haven't ran this low yet. Okay, we're running that fractal point. We ran it. Oh no! Oh yeah, we did break it here. So yeah, a little bit more of a bullish again. Thinking about buying long here. Well, I didn't do it. Yeah, I mean, that could have been right there, the entry. It's tough to say though. Well, the fact that we didn't run this low was a good indication that we might go higher. Now we are definitely a little more bullish again with the runs of these highs to the left. Yeah, that would have been a really sweet entry here with no drawdown. Look at all that move up. So we have a good established trend at least, or range at least. Our bias again is bullish. We left an imbalance here that might push price higher. Let's see if we go back to it. On the 1 minute, let's see what that looks like. Well, we haven't closed this candle yet. Okay, run the high. It didn't go below the 50% of this imbalance here. Of course, on the 1 minute, it's not even an imbalance yet. Let's see. Well, it is until, well, it's being We'll have to wait for this candle to close to see whether an imbalance was left from here to here. But it did give us a reaction higher, breaking the high or running the high. Let's see if we break it or come back lower. I would probably guess lower here. Maybe here to this point. Let's see. Yeah, I guess could have been another good entry here. But once we get to this area again, if we do, then it's going to be interesting to see whether price will actually break finally. These guys here, which on the 1 minute are not as far away, would be here. They look a lot closer. But here, because of the runs of these lows, we might get another reaction, especially from where we are right now. Okay, price is trading to that point that we mentioned, and yeah, I mean, we're getting definitely some kind of reaction. I mean, look at that. And that's because, again, this area is not responsible for breaks to the left. So we were thinking it's an important high to look at to see whether it gets ran or not. This could have been just a retracement to this unmitigated zone here. Okay, we ran the high and not broken yet. Let's see. Could be another short opportunity, but we're not going to do that because our bias is still bullish. Okay, we got that high ran. Let's see what happens to this one. Might get a rejection, strong one, maybe a pull down to here. Now if we're thinking bullish and we want to take a trade going up, we're gonna have to wait for price to get back to this area here. Would be about 50% of this high, which is the one responsible for breaking structure to the left, and this low here, which is the lowest. This is the lowest low responsible for the break here. Price did come back to it, but then left an unmitigated area here. So about 50% would be around here. So if we see a retracement back down here, we might consider going long. No break yet, not even a run. very, I mean, maybe the same exact price to the tick. So that's what we can expect price to go down from, but we're not going to take a trade going down because we might go, we might keep going higher. We have a stronger highs here to be ran or mitigated or whatever, just to price to come over here. But we are definitely seeing a rejection there, and so if that's the case, we'll look to get in on this area here for a long, and that would be a good point based on our strategy for the day, considering we're trading higher from today's low right there. So we're definitely going to be paying attention to this low. And basically this low, actually. This low here is more important because that's the one that was responsible for a break. Price didn't trade lower, and then, well, not really a break, but I guess the break of this high here. Not the most important high here. So this low and this high would give us a 50% area around here. Oh. They're like around there. This is where we could be looking to get in, but we're not going to rush it because we might actually consider the bottom of this and then the 50% back down here. So we'll just have to wait to see if price comes lower. Right now we're at the top of our range, so longing would be stupid and shorting would be stupid, but for me. Wow, huge manipulation candle. Wow. Okay, we did run the high. And if you look at my trades, I mean, even this one would have never gotten taken out. I would still be in profit. Same with all of them, basically. Not this one, no, this one wasn't the right type of trade we want to make, but this one definitely also. So these two trades would not have gotten stopped out if we had held them, which is not what we're doing. So we're not upset or anything. We're just taking note of that. Okay, running the lows to the left. This could be it. No, that's not 50% of what? No. Too short. Let's say 50% is here. But maybe this is the low that we care about, and yeah, that's the high. So maybe around here. So if we take this low, then 50% would be here. Wow. Client. Well, we might have to wait for a while. It looks like volatility has gone down. Yeah, definitely. It was at 14, now it's at 4. 28 over here, 25, no, 28, 22, 25. And the lowest, it's about 3. So we're below the average. Yeah, it looks to me like price wants to still come down more. Now, of course, it might finally break the high here before going low, because we haven't really broken it. We ran it, but that's a huge wick. Just a wick and the tip of it, and then we got, of course, reversal indication, but price might just be going from 50% of this area here, a very small area. That aligns perfectly to what's happening. We'll see if this is not the case. If we trade lower, then we adjust our area, but especially if we run this high here, then trade here, then go up. Yeah, kind of a bearish indication here. You're a little bearish. Wow. Price isn't moving right now, guys, so be patient. Okay, we're at that area there. Let's see what happens on the 20-second chart. Okay, I placed a long order. I'm thinking that we're going to break these highs to the left before going lower. Not the best placement. I wish my stop loss would have been lower than this, but I don't want to risk too much. Price isn't moving, so that's concerning as well. Okay, back to break even. Yep, broke even. It would have gone my way. Yes, it would have. But I don't want to lose, guys. Like, I don't want to be in drawdown. You know, that's why I'm moving my stop loss to the break even. I don't care if it seems like I'm not doing the right thing by not taking profit, but it's an evaluation. I'm not in a rush to make the profit. The longer I trade, the better. I have to trade for 10 days at least. So this is a good thing that we're kind of breaking even because we're not losing. That's one. And even though it probably would have gone my way, especially if I had entered again here, it definitely would have gone my way. But as you can see, the volatility is very low and the trend is down. Even though we ran the high, we didn't break it. So price may not want to go up too much and keep going down. So didn't want to risk too much. Unfortunate that we got stopped out before it went our way, but again, not a really bad thing. Not worse, definitely not worse than losing the trade. Definitely not worse. So we take this week out, and then we make this low a little stronger, especially with this being the 50%. Let's see what happens. And that's, you know, that's what I was saying, that we did run this low, so that could have happened here. Of course, we went up and then down, but we're still in a very interesting area here this week here, giving us, and actually it was the low that's responsible for the runs, breaking this high for sure. We might consider this one, but this one also important. So now what we might actually go down. If we did go down, there's an imbalance left here. And of course we can go all the way down here to the S&D zone. The unmitigated area basically is here. Price doesn't really want to trade lower now from there. So let's see. Okay, yeah. So now we're more interested. Now, I mean, this is kind of playing out the way we wanted. It's unfortunate that it's taking so long because, you know, we get a little tired. You get a little tired, you get a little more cranky. So the responsible for the swing up should be here and here, and then 50% is here. Okay, yeah, that's actually pretty good. So we might expect the tap back here again before shooting higher, but it might actually not go all the way down there before this, because we're looking at a flip over here, maybe Let's see. Okay, not yet, not yet. We'll talk too soon. I actually did make some charts. This is the 1 hour with some indicators. We got the ATR, the MACD, money flow oscillator, and this is the EMA. I think the green line is the EMA, and this is the Bollinger Bands on the, you know, outside and inside. Still going through that very small narrow gap. That might have to do with, I guess, the holidays and stuff, you know, very low volatility overall, especially compared to this past few days. That's been kind of crazy. Okay, so we did get reversal indication. We did go lower than this 50% range. Maybe the actual range was more down here and down here. That, I mean, that aligns perfectly with 50% too. So that could be the move. Could have been, unless we reverse back, maybe get another entry. We're not fully committed to the bullish yet before running these lows, I mean these highs here. But we'll see what this next candles do. This is the 1 minute, so maybe we should take a look at the 20-second as well. So I'm gonna keep the 20-second on my other, I mean the 1 minute on my other monitor. Yeah, you know, I'm kind of thinking of calling it quits. It's been kind of a heavy day. I didn't start trading until late today. I mean, usually I like to start at 9:30. So it is a little later than that, and like I'm a little tired actually because just been watching a lot of things. I mean, we took about 4 or 5 trades. How many? Let's see how many we took. We took 5 trades and we got $30 in profit. I mean, again, we got taken out on those break-evens that none of them would have actually been bad for us. So that's good signs. Again, we're not experienced enough to be very confident yet, but you know, 80%, $30, you know, 23 really. I'm sorry, 23 in commission, so only like $6. So 660 from 50K, which is our starting point. So not a bad day. I kind of like, I've never really started, you know, an account with a break even. You know, usually I either win or lose the first day of a new account or a new challenge or whatever it is. So I usually either start winning or losing, which is kind of tricky. But today I I am breaking even unless I can see another entry. But I mean, I wouldn't just trade off this. I would, just because we didn't run these highs, and then uh, I'm kind of debating whether I should take another trade, but especially with, you know, 80% of my trades going my way. Um, I don't know. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go maybe 10 more minutes, which is only two 5-minute candles. I mean, as far as the 3-minute chart goes, it kind of seems like price wants to trade lower, especially after, you know, the breaks of the previous highs. Might go lower before going higher again. I mean, this right here could be a good entry. Yeah, you see that? Yeah, I was gonna say to the downward side. It's kind of hard to short though when our bias has been bullish, and especially after this. And we wouldn't be following what we said we would look for, which is a retracement down and then an upward swing. But unfortunately, it's been like, you know, 2.5 hours or something of trading, and that, you know, makes us tired. Yeah, that would have been a really nice short, and it was kind of clear that it wanted to do that, as it's been doing. And this is where price could be leaving from. We actually did get a bit of a bullish indication here. Yeah, those little highs to the left here left an unmitigated zone here, or it's gonna leave if it goes lower. So we might look for a movement upwards again, maybe from here, you know, from these lows here. We might look for price to come up here again, especially with this wicks, just basically taking some orders but not really going higher into this area here. So unmitigated, but it might do it sooner than later. Well, so like I say, it wants to do it right now. Okay, run of the high. Yeah, this is the kind of trade that I kind of always feel tempted to take, but I get cooked by putting my stop loss below this low and then getting ran for not noticing these lows over here. But we are getting a bit of a flip. You know, we got below and a wick left, so manipulation. And then we got a run of the high, not trading lower yet, so we'll see what happens. Not the ideal area to live from, I don't think. If this was our 50% area, then the low would be about here. Wow, look at that. It's a lot of support here, but now, yeah, we're breaking it. Okay, good, good. And we finally got a little bit of a confirmation that we got to look out for the move is more here. 50% of that. So we're about that area that we're going to be really paying attention for a long position. The only problem though is because we did run the high to the left, but we didn't break the bigger highs on the, more to the left. I mean, what price can do is just run this downwards. But definitely gonna watch out for here, see what happens. This is a good indication of a bullish flip. Okay, run another low. We're gonna have to wait. It left a really big imbalance there, so this could be it. And this next low could be the one that propels a little higher. So the imbalance being from here all the way down to here hasn't closed yet. So yeah, it did close. So it left a big, big imbalance there. So we're gonna be looking to get back there. But we're gonna wait because it might keep going down like it is. But that's a good area to watch for this imbalance here, especially with the reluctancy that the price um, left there, or like, the way it left that area, a little bit hesitant. So the high and the low established, run of the high, back to the 50% area, back up. And a doji left, of course. Let's see what happens with this candle. I have a feeling we're gonna shoot up, like shoot up, not just go up, but shoot up. So I am thinking of taking a trade up with this imbalance here being my target. If I get a better entry and not run the low, then I'll place my order. But if we do run the low, then we wait. Okay, here we go. So I placed the order going up a little bit late. I'm gonna go for a little more profit. Yeah, again, like that imbalance to me was left for no reason. I don't know. We're going down now, so we'll see. We did run the high to the left there, so this is the next high to be ran. And I just keep thinking that this PD array is attractive for price, but we're also going down on the trend, so it might have been too early of a trade. Yeah, too early. Oh man. Well, I should have quit while I was ahead, right? I did have a chance. 165, that's a big loss. But I had to put my stop loss below this. And of course, now that it's taking my trade, it's probably gonna go up to this area again. So too late. Maybe a little bit too impatient. What happened to the music? There it was. Yeah, well, you win some, you lose some. Big loss there, taking us down to, we're still kind of higher wins, but not the best kind of wins. And very bad loss there, 135 in a loss to profit ratio. 80, was it 70 or 60% win? What was it? 66% win, and still in drawdown because we moved our stop loss. But again, we did it because we don't want to be in drawdown. We should have done it again here. We had our chance. So on the one that really mattered, we didn't do it. And now look, looks like price wants to go my way, but no, it's too early to tell. It might actually keep going lower with, I had this over here, and I thought that this was the area we're leaving upwards from, but maybe I just need to double check later, back test again, see if the real area would be down here and the 50% would be about here, which is, nearing. On the 1 minute chart would be over here. Now this would be the low. That's more interesting. And then 50% would be here. No, more like here. Well, I mean, the trade wasn't that. That's what, the trade was what we said we wanted to do. The confirmation was iffy. So, but look, we're still in that area, and definitely getting some kind of support. But it could be all, a fake flip and just keep going lower. So now I'm doing what I shouldn't be doing, which is kind of chasing price, but oh man, I don't know why I just did that. And I'm gonna lose more than I make. Whatever, take me out. I deserve it. Yeah. Oh, stupid. I'm too busy right now to trade. I've got stuff going on. And this was just a stupid trade. I wanted to get in here, honestly. And then I saw this move and I was like, oh, don't miss out. Stupid. Anyways, guys, this is for today. Very bad performance at the end of the thing. We were doing well. We should have quit while we were ahead. $255 in loss. Yeah. Anyways, I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Thanks for watching. And again, look, this might actually play out the way I want it, but I'm still not good with my entries. So I'm not actually too upset because I can bring this around. Okay, stay tuned for more. Catch you on the next one.